In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah and that Muhammad is his messenger. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another edition of Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. I am your host, Brother Jackie Muhammad, and we have a wonderful show for you tonight. You know we always bring it. We always do. So we're excited for our two special guests. So let's get right to it. But before we introduce our guests, I want to introduce some dynamic brothers. I know the dynamic duo. It's not Batman and Robin. It's Ahmed and Kawi. So at first, I would like to introduce our brother. He's a world traveler. He's a Renaissance man. He's my brother. We pretty much talk on the phone every day. It's my brother Ahmed B.I. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Alaikum salam. I bear witness there is no God but Allah. Muhammad is his messenger. I'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us. It's Jock Brothers. Let us make man. Thank you all for joining. Hey, brother Cedric, we could put you in that commercial. I know you like that.
That was sweet, brother. That was a thing.
You got to be an Avenger, brother. You got to be a superhero, brother. You got to be a superhero, brother. Come on in, brother Cedric.
Man, I don't know if you saw my face when
I saw it.
I was like, oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. Praise Allah.
Yeah, right back at you, Jackie.
Yes, sir. And let's introduce the second half of the dynamic duo. These two brothers here put this work in, brother, and make this podcast successful as it is. The other half of our brother Kawi Muhammad, man, he's a world traveler. But he drives. he traveled the world by car. So we want to bring up and introduce our brother Kawi.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Jock Brothers Presents Let Us Make Man. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to this show. We got some, in my opinion, some superstars on our show, and that's due to the work that they do behind the scenes. So I look forward to this particular show. And for those that support the Jock Brothers each and every week, thank you. And of course, I want y'all to go to y'all Jock Brothers the Jock Brothers on YouTube, JAKQ Brothers. JAKQ Brothers. I want you to subscribe. I want you to hit the bell, and I want you to please share as we get out this important information that we have for us tonight. Please, I know it's various platforms that are being used out there, so please share on each platform. Now, of course, if you want to continue to support the Jock Brothers platform, please do so by sending whatever funds you can from the bottom of your heart to our Cash App. It's $Jock Bros. We shorten it for you. $JAKQ BROS. For everybody that's ever donated to us, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And of course, we have a prison initiative that we kicked off about 4 months ago. And and that initiative is we would like to get the Final Call newspaper behind the bars to at least 1,000 prisoners. Or I don't want to call them prisoners, 1,000 of our family members that's behind bars.
Absolutely.
We want to get the baddest newspaper on the planet behind bars to see what it can do in that atmosphere. So we did the math. It's $18 for 90-day subscription of the Final Calls behind bars, $30 for 6 months, and $60 for a year. So let's sponsor an inmate, and if you have somebody that's incarcerated that you know of that you would like to get that Final Call specifically, please reach out to us on jockviewers.com. Can you put it up there, Brother Ahmed? Jock Brothers Viewers at gmail.com. Yes, sir. Please give their name, inmate number, facility there, and we can get that Final Call newspaper to them immediately. I have nothing else. Back to you, Brother Jackie. You on mute, Brother Jackie?
Now that's the engineer fault. All right, Jock Nation. Let's support that prison initiative. $60 donation. That's just charity. and you can serve an inmate for a year. I don't want to call them inmate, but you can serve our brothers and sisters for a year. Not inmates, man. They captured, man. They just lawful captives.
That's
So
right.
we want to serve our brothers and sisters for at least a year with the Final Call newspaper. But look, now no more from us. Let's go to our special guest. We're going to start first with our sister. We have Sister Mariam K. Muhammad. Sister Mariam is the creator and founder of Heal Thy Life, a nonprofit foundation educating women and children about healthier lifestyles. The Heal Thy Life organization provides workshops, which we need, health seminars, we definitely need, maintain social media platforms, and facilitate a vast array of services based on a simple principle: your life is valuable. Take charge. That's what you say, right, sister? Take charge? Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. As a gifted orator, motivational speaker, and now published author, Ms. Muhammad has addressed audience of all sizes. Her inspiring words offer practical guidance for women and girls in a variety of contexts. Her first book, Why I Am Enough, that's very important, covers a variety of topics and reflections written in transparency and authenticity on the part of the writer. The reader is treated to personal insights, which are also responses to many of the women and girls with whom she's worked. One of Sister Mariam's other passions is empowering women in their professional lives. That's big right now. We definitely want to discuss that. She's done this while hosting her own radio show and expanding Heal Thy Life with both community and business partnership. The release of her highly anticipated book, The Power to Break Generational Pain, is a collection of reflections, healing affirmations. It is an additional yet invaluable tool that Mrs. Muhammad uses to continue her divine mission as a catalyst for the empowerment of women. Sister Mariam is still very much involved hands-on in the community she serves. She continues to maintain professional license as an EMT technician, certification as a CPR instructor, and currently serves as a high school biology teacher. The combination of these skills, in addition to her current studies in, all right, you're going to have to help me with this. What is it? Naturopathic medicine and nutrition are an indication of her commitment to constantly qualifying herself to meet the needs of those whom she desires to serve. Okay. Do you have time to speak with us for an hour and a half? You are busy. Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. I'm gonna tell you though, that first book you showed, not mine. The I Am Enough, that was not mine. Mine is Why I Am Enough. That I Am Enough, that had the young black baby on there, that belongs to
Brother Darnell. That's Brother Darnell's book, I believe.
Hey, well, praise be to Allah. We rolling with the I Am Enough. Say, I'll take it.
Don't worry, we're gonna fire the engineer. Don't worry, we looking for the engineer. I got his pink slip right here. Praise Allah. But yes, Sister Mariam. So do you have time? What do you have time for? You're very busy. Very, very busy.
I am, because right now I actually should be studying for my exam tomorrow. I am currently in pre-med school, so I've been studying all day. But I carved out some time for my brothers.
Okay, praise be to Allah. Okay, well, we're gonna move along. We're gonna introduce your other brother on the other side and just give us a minute, sister. We're gonna come right back to you.
Praise be to Allah.
Now, our other guest is our brother Cedric Alfonso Muhammad. He's a committed husband, a father of 3. He is passionate human service professional who seeks to be a positive influence in the lives of the individual he encounters. Throughout his professional career, he has worked with grassroots organizations, city government, and private entities. The combination of these experiences have afforded him the opportunity to engage individuals both at the community and executive levels. Immediately out of college, he began working in the housing projects of New Orleans as a senior program coordinator with the Tulane Xavier National Center for the Urban Community. In this capacity, he worked to identify community resources, organize local programs, and provide technical support for grant writing and program administration. Okay. Mr. Alfonso's ability to understand and support individuals who are pursuing success is rooted in his real life experiences growing up in inner city New Orleans, becoming a father at the age of 15. That's big. Married with children by the age of 19. That's even bigger. Living in public housing, notorious, in the project. Okay. What is it? The Calio. Is that the one what Juvenile was rapping about?
That's it. That's it right there, brother.
Yes, sir. Okay. The fortune of having overcome these life obstacles forged within him a will and spirit and determination that can easily be witnessed in his work. Yeah. Understanding the significant challenges faced by individuals from underserved communities, Mr. Alfonso's life goals and passion are simple: to serve as an inspiration, displaying the principle of enthusiasm, hope, and belief, and lighting a clear pathway for those seeking to escape poverty and the flourishing prison pipeline. Yes. Let's introduce our guest, Brother Cedric Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, mighty gods of the earth. It's a pleasure to be with you all. And my dear sister, I know we're getting ready to bring the house down tonight.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to. Okay, Sister Mariam. Why? Yes, why motivational speaker? Praise why? Do we need motivation?
Come on.
Absolutely. We need motivation, inspiration. We need it all. But at the end of the day, we need upliftment. We need to be reminded of who we are. And that's pretty much the root of the inspiration. Some of us need to be reminded. Some of us just need to be educated and told. So that's the key right there. We're going through a lot these days.
Yes, ma'am. So, Brother Cedric, why enthusiasm? Why hope? Why belief?
Well, that's an excellent question, Brother Jackie. And so when we start talking about the mind is the operation by which we do everything, right?
Yes, sir.
So the question becomes, what is it that you have passion for? What is it that you're excited about? And what is it that you hope? And so these things, even in the darkness, having hope, having passion, they carry a light to help us to move forward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Sister Mariam, in writing your...
You muted yourself, Brother Jackie.
Somebody is muting me. This engineer. I'm telling you, this engineer, this is his last day. This is last day.
A conspiracy.
A conspiracy. In writing your first book, what motivated you to write the first book? Why I Am Enough?
It was really the experiences that I was having in the high schools and in grammar schools with the girls. It was me looking back at my own life and how Allah blessed me with my trials to become an example for these babies out here. So all of that kind of brewing inside of me is what really wrote that book. There's parts of the book actually both of my books I was writing that I know was not me. It's experiences that I've never gone through, but I could feel it. So I wrote it, and thank Allah, it helped many and still helping many. So I definitely have to say part of it is being obedient to the will of Allah that moves you to do what you're supposed to do. So I was following instructions. And the other side is definitely the experience of being with the young women. And again, remembering my own past.
Now that's important to me. What you just said about being obedient and following instructions, meaning it's coming from the inside.
That's right.
And you carried out what was in your mind and heart to do. Huh? You just carried it out. So now what is I mean, because now when we're dealing with young men and young women, and they have something inside, but it's, you know, you like brothers say, you don't have the enthusiasm, you don't have the hope, you don't have the belief system. You know, how do you still foster that out? How do you still push that? What drives you? What gave you the will to do?
It's love. It's love. I don't stand in front of people and be fake. I'm not phony. I come real. However I feel, you know, whatever Allah is blessing, you know, the energy, how he blesses it to flow within you, I just flow with it. And every single time he blesses me to be able to touch the people in front of me. So it's honestly just love, sincerity. I've had young girls say to me, you know, they ask, when are you coming back? Because you're the closest thing I have to a mother. And this is just from one encounter. So I know that's nothing but Allah. It's not me. It's most definitely him. So it's just being open, allowing yourself to be a vessel for him to use, and then he just takes over.
Absolutely.
Well, do you try to develop some kind of culture? Because I know some of these young women, they come from all walks of life, and same you, brother Cedric. These children come from all walks of life, and you've been blessed to see civilization. Do you try to develop some kind of culture into these youth?
Well, I just come with Islam. We already have our culture. So I don't need to create or develop anything. It's already been done for us. I just follow the blueprint.
And I'd like to just add, Brother Jackie, first of all, this is an excellent question. And Brother Ahmed, that's a great follow-up, because what Sister Mariam laid down as a base is the foundation, is love. And so that love first, and I love and I make sure I got the title of the book right, I Am Enough, right?
Mine is Why
I Am Enough.
But that's even beautiful, because it's explaining why I am enough. And then to have that perspective, you have to love yourself first. Right. And you have to appreciate that. And we know that the foundation of our teachers, first, to be completely honest with you, we came out of a history of self-hatred. So when God restores us back to a position of love, then we find out what you just found out, why I am enough. And that's a beautiful foundation. And I just want to say that truly, that having the opportunity to work with the high school students, and as I mentioned before we came on, I am a high school counselor. And I've had the opportunity to serve as a high school counselor in one of the local high schools here for the past 6 years. One of the inner city notorious schools here in the Atlanta area. And the things that we have seen, the things that we've counseled young people around, it's beautiful that you've found that to be able to help them to understand why they are enough. And then this show, technically, whether people understand it, these kinds of conversations have to be had, and we have to have platforms. So to be on a Jock Brothers and to be able to talk about this, like, you can't pay for this, bro. You can't. This is priceless. This is priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you all want to pay, you know, we expect all donations. you know, you spoke on working in the school, and I'm wondering, you know, I come from a family of school teachers as well, and I personally desire to own a school. Me and Brother Ahmed, we're gonna buy a school very soon. Yes, so I'm wondering, what is the environment? And I'm assuming now it's public school, right? You both work in public school. Okay. What is it like walking in? What is that environment like now? You know?
Well, I'm going to say this, though. You know, now here's the thing. There is the idea of what schools are.
Yeah.
And there is the reality, as you pointed out, of what they are when you walk in them. I'm not trying to be critical of education or the people work in it, but it's a dead environment because the direction is not clear. In schools today, from my own experience, and my sister teaches biology, there's standardized tests. So I'm not quite sure if she's still responsible for what is called the EOC, which is the end of grade exam, right? We are responsible in the educational system of making sure students are passing an exam. So everything is focused around passing an exam. But we're in an environment where the children are dealing with more than just exams and academics. They're dealing with real life issues. We have circumstances with children, we found them having relations in the bathroom,
Yeah.
in the staircase. I mean,
Yeah.
like, this is real. And we got cameras all over the school. So you would think that would prevent them from doing this, but no, sir. That hasn't stopped none of that, bro.
Yeah.
And somebody would say, is that happening in school? Absolutely. I mean, gang fights, whatever. I mean, you imagine it is happening. And myself, I'm surprised sometimes to see that this is happening, but it's almost a norm. So I say that to say, I wish people could really walk in the building and see that the light in these young people's eyes, many of it is turned off because they're not being fed civilization. They're being fed a dead idea of supremacy.
Yes, sir. Now you. Oh, go ahead, sister. You had something?
I was just going to say that I do mentoring in the public schools and charter schools, but I teach 8th grade science and 9th grade biomedical sciences at Muhammad University. Okay. So I get both sides of the world.
Right. Now that's two different environments.
Oh, absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
And thank you for clarifying that, sister, because I was worried about you for a minute.
Oh, you don't have to be worried about me, trust me.
Yeah. No, she can fight, brother. Okay. That's what she's saying. She said, I can fight.
A lot.
Go ahead, brother. Man.
In this work and inspiring the youth, you only have them for a short amount of time. And they have to go home and deal with the environment, especially during COVID. Everybody was at home. How much influence do you think or you believe that you have, according maybe to the results that you see? Because we've mentored young brothers and watched them grow up. And sometimes they went to the left and sometimes they followed the path. How much influence and effect do you think that you have on them on a week to week, month to month basis?
So, sister, you want to go? You want to jump on it?
I'm like, you want to go first?
It's always going to be the goddesses first.
Right.
So, I would definitely say that I removed the thought from my mind of pretty much the effect, because I watched my brother counterparts who was going into schools who it really started to bother them thinking about, am I being effective? And it weighed heavy on them. And so my comment to that was plant the seed.
That's right.
A lot will take over from there. Just plant that seed. It's the follow-up, we do that with love, but at the end of the day, it's up to Allah what direction He wants you to go in your path. When we go out and we teach these babies how to eat to live, we understand that they don't buy the groceries, but we're planting a seed so that when one day they do, they'll know what to do and they can be courageous enough to do it. I'm in a high school now where these babies are, literally, you're talking about high school girls that's coming who've never heard of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan or the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, but they come in with How to Eat to Live, quoting the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad before I can even open my mouth. So I'm like, Allah is busy.
Right.
He's preparing these youth. He's working, but I can't put the pressure on my mind of what's going to happen when they go home, because I have no control over that. And that's how we breed disease within us, is we focus too much on elements that we have no control over.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what's beautiful about that response that sister illustrated is that she's articulating clearly that the work belongs to Allah.
Right.
So the responsibility is on His shoulders. We only serve as helpers in that cause. So that's really a beautiful point to highlight. And I would add to that, by Allah's grace and permission, that when we start talking about light, we know that light travels throughout the universe, and light causes motion. Are you with me? Stay with me. So when we look at the Supreme Wisdom in the Problem Book, it lays out how the planets are a certain distance away from the earth, but what it's talking about is how the light travels to each of these planets and causes them to rotate. Now, I would love to quote for you a specific thing that I read from the Messenger's book, and I don't have it in front of me, so I don't want to misquote it or ascribe to him something that is not accurate. But just thinking with me, we know that light changes a thing. So technically, and we look at the seed, we only have to plant the seed, but all we have to do is be the light. And then those who are searching for the light will gravitate towards it. So I agree with my sister 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, Brother Kawi.
Oh, well, yes, sir. So this is like I really would like to know how when you get your students into your programs, how do you evaluate them to see just what they need? What are some of the things you, I guess, look for when you're trying to say, okay, this person really, this child here, this young adult really need some tender love and care, and what route do you take to like get him the type of attention he need to get right? If there's a way that you do this.
My program is a little different.
Okay.
We do, of course, evaluate in the beginning of the program. The evaluation is not really based on, I guess I could kind of say it's to assess where they are. We deal with pain because we're breaking generational pain. When we go into school, we already know our community, so we know what they need. They need the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All we do is just put the curriculum together as to what's going to come first, second, or third. So it's not so much based off of if someone fills out a form and says, they may be lacking in this area, or they need this, because when you come in the mosque, it's not like that. So we mimic the blueprint that the God gave us. So we come with what the God says we need as a people, and we roll with that.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna now turn to and answer your question. And I wish I had known, because I would have had all of my books and great information ready. But we're gonna go with Supreme Wisdom, Lost Found Muslim Lesson number 1, question and answer number 17. It says, what is the meaning of civilization? One having knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage. And right below that, pursuit of happiness. But don't let me continue. Because I'm warming up here. This is good. Then the second question, number 18, says, feel me here. What is the duty of a civilized person? To teach the uncivilized people who are savage civilization, righteousness, the knowledge of himself, the science of everything in life, love, peace, and happiness. So I bring that up because the issue that we're dealing with around this country and around this world is uncivilization. So when the truth or the knowledge or the light comes, then you have a way of behaving that continues to perpetuate society and life, known as peace and happiness. So one of the things, as my sister articulated, what I'm looking for when I encounter a young brother or sister, I'm looking for two things. One, to see what that disturbance or pain, she hit it on the nail, what that disturbance or pain is. What is that faulty thinking? And how can we give them a truth, like a medicine, that straightens out their perspective and gives them a foundation? So for me, listening to what Brother Jackie said too, wanting to have a school, I share that sentiment. Because the school is a place of education, not just math and science, not just English and social studies. Right. It's also about, as we saw here, civilization. And so for us, being able to teach the proper behaviors, etiquette, Because again, I am a counselor. I'm a professional counselor at that, and have a master's degree in counseling. So I say that to say we understand that there's psychological pain, but what we're looking for is a solution, or to give them a piece of what we have. Mm-hmm. That will, because it straighten you out. Look at you. Look how good everybody on this camera look today. look like what you had is working pretty good. So mm-hmm. then we give them a piece of it as a baby and feed mm-hmm. that to them over time.
Right.
So can I get back to Sister Kalila?
Kalila, who is that?
I'm sorry,
that's my middle name. It's my middle name. Oh, okay. My middle name.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, I almost ran then.
Kalila, I'm not
Sister Miriam.
Okay, yes, sir.
All right. So what you say? You have a classroom type setting then?
Yes.
You don't really get a personal relationship with your particular student.
No, we do in the classroom type setting. We absolutely do. It gets very personal.
Okay. And is there a curriculum with each one of you? Because I know you deal with different age ranges. What age range do you say, hey, you're a little too old for my program? You might have to seek some other professional help.
Well, I mean, we deal with women and girls, so we usually tend to start off around 13 as far as the youngest, but I've gone down to 9 due to sex trafficking. So, and there's no max because we deal with women too. So there's no max as far as the age.
Yes, man. And you have a curriculum that is not specific. That's when you get personal.
Oh, we definitely have a lesson plan. We got curriculums. We got everything we need. Absolutely.
Stay out of class.
Right.
That's what she's saying. Stay out of our class, brother.
I just want to sneak. Just a sneak peek.
Okay, but I have a question about the class.
Oh, watch out there now.
Not that class. Not that class.
Now you say here, Sister Mary, you have a passion for empowering women in their professional lives. What does that look like?
So we deal with manifestation. We deal with helping women if they want to become entrepreneurs, if they're just trying to cope on the job. So it's different categories or areas, if you will, that we deal with on a professional level with women. We, of course, deal with relationships and things of that nature as well. So it covers all of that. So
do you have sometimes family counseling sessions?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes it calls for that. A lot of times if we're dealing with the girls and have to pull the moms in,
okay.
There have been times I've done healing sessions with the wife, but had to explain to her that we had to do a couple with the husband as well in order for certain areas of healing to be effective, in order for it to take place. So yes, I've done group sessions, family sessions, absolutely. And then under professional, we also help young girls and women go back to school.
Absolutely. Now. When I read professional, because I'm on social media, it's first of all, our sisters are under attack. First of all, Black women, you just under attack. I mean, Joe Biden, they so slick. Okay, we're gonna nominate a Black woman, but she's married to you just under attack. You're under attack. So now I see it's something going around on social media about brothers who encountering sisters who are professional working in professional. They're bosses, they're managers, they're owners, and it seems now that the Black man has a problem with our sisters who work in the professional category. Do you encounter that, and how do you deal with that? How do the sisters respond? What are their concerns? How do they respond? How can we make it easier? How can we help? What can we do?
Well,
if anything, but I'm seeing that they're attacking our sisters, man. I mean, these brothers, I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Nobody wants a professional, okay, yes, ma'am.
No, it is real. I was just on WVON radio station last week, and I was called to be on there because the topic was dealing with a nation. No, it wasn't a nation can rise no higher than its woman. I brought that part in. It actually was when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. When you teach a man, you teach an individual. Men got offended by that statement. It was made on a previous show, and they asked me to come to the follow-up show to address the topic. And men were calling in offended.
Okay.
Some man called in and basically told me that I was a liar for saying that the mother is the first teacher of the child, and he wanted to go in biblically, and I guess he didn't know who he was dealing with. So, after pretty much getting him straight, and he wound up hanging up or whatever. But I knew that was going to happen anyway. But it is, and I think that some of it is because right now there's a lot of tension when it comes to the Black man now. So it's not just coming out of slavery anymore. It's you're dealing with police brutality. Right now, the Black man is really trying to get his identity back.
Okay.
Right.
So this enemy is putting the Black woman we already know he reversed the roles and put the Black woman above the Black man, but now he's putting them against each other in public.
Right.
Yes.
So that's what the underlining that's the underlining motive. It's really, let me keep lifting this Black woman. You got the Me Too movement. Because they were even asking us questions about, well, as a woman, how do you feel about being equal to a man? Well, I never said I was equal to a man. So I was explaining to them that when that movement started, the white women started that movement, and they tried to make it equal to us, wanting to be equal as a human being coming out of slavery. So understanding the history really behind this Me Too movement, as a Black woman, I don't belong in it. So, just in explaining to the brothers, because there was a brother on the show who he came out for the first time to Savior's Day this past February. And he told them, I'm a Christian, but I'm going to tell you, if you ain't never heard Farrakhan speak, you better listen to him today. He said when he walked in the mosque, he said he was surrounded around strong Black men and strong Black women. So his thing was, how can you be a strong Black man and not have a strong Black woman in your home? So why are you so threatened by the strength of a woman?
Exactly.
So I loved his standpoint too. So, to answer the question as far as, what you can do, it's really going out here on the street and helping our brothers and teaching them who they are, putting them in a role where they can see the fruit of their labor quickly, because men have to see the fruit of their labor quickly. They're not like us. We carry the baby for 9 months. We have more of a patience for the development of new life. A man's nature is not like that. Even when the Caucasian went over to Africa, they stated that the Black man was a builder. He was building civilization with his hands, because you got to see the fruit of your labor is who you are. So it's just going out here teaching these Black men who they are, and that the Black woman is not their enemy. She actually is their companion, and she is the first teacher of the child.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So Brother Cedric, I want to hit you with the same question, brother. When they come to your program, is it like a classroom setting?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
So there are a couple of things. When we talk about the work that I do, as I mentioned to you prior to coming on, so we do contract related business. This is not just because I desire to do it. We've created this as a business model to provide specific services under these types of contracts. So those types of persons that we see, they're coming to us for a specific service. So what are those services? One, they might come because they did not complete their high school diploma, so they're looking for a GED. So people who are looking for a GED, they're filtered into that particular program. That's a service that's provided. You might be coming to the center, and this is a workforce center, because we're talking about the workforce side of the operation. You might be coming to the center because you either have a job and you're looking for a new skill. So we're going to plug you into a workforce system to help you get trained in a specific skill. Let's say truck driving or welding or something in the medical field. There's specific trades that you can get retrained in that'll help you improve your life outcomes. So again, that's on the workforce side. Or if you just need a resume, or if you just need somebody to talk to. So when we see people, we're filtering them according to the specific service that they need. That's on that side. As a counselor, of course, we see every student from 9th to 12th grade. And in seeing them, each of these students have different kinds of needs. So you have a 9th grade student, and I'm going to come back to Brother Jackie, because this is what I'm saying about why I agree with him that a school is needed. Because when you have a 9th grade student coming into high school, they're transitioning socially and emotionally as well as biologically. And there's some things that they need to understand about themselves. And there's a certain set of behaviors that they need to develop in this critical period. So you have the 9th grade student, you have them transitioning on, and then you have students at the end of their academic career. They're in the 12th grade. They're getting ready to finish high school. And many of you can agree with me or recognize you're in high school. You don't know what you want to do yet. You're not clear about your future. So we have services that are designed to sit with students to help them develop that path. And now that brings us to the program that we're launching, Achieve 365. So I don't know if the audience knows, if you guys know, but on May the 7th, I'm going to be riding a bicycle from Atlanta, Georgia to New Orleans, covering 577 miles. And
a bicycle?
I'm going to do that in 5 days, riding about 115 miles per day. And so it is not necessarily about the bike riding as it is about raising the money to launch a program to accomplish something that we can't wait for other people to do. Okay. So some people are asking me, why don't you write a grant? Why don't you I don't need to beg people for money. This is a community problem, and the community should help me solve a problem. So I decided that I would ride the bike only as a means of visible commitment, because I have that kind of determination. That's a whole other story. But I'm just saying I'm flexing God in myself, and I want people to join me in that effort to help us do something to change our condition. So I agree with Brother Jackie. We need to set up 1,000 schools. So we need every brother and sister who has that passion to step out there and get it going right away.
And why don't you do something hard though, brother? That's easy.
What is that? What is that?
I thought you were doing a challenge. That's it.
Well, I'm gonna say it like this.
I'm just messing with you, brother.
It was because of gas prices.
Listen, it's gonna be dynamic, black man. I don't know any brother or sister who's done it. So I won't be the first, but I'll be among the first. You can believe that.
Hey, that was a good one, though. Is it really because of the gas? That was a good one. No, but look, we got 2 world travelers, brother. Just take them with you. Just take them with you, brother. Look how we right here in Atlanta.
I
we
love
on the bicycle. We can go to Walmart, get the big seat, and we be comfortable and take that ride, brother. That's right.
Let's go.
Take that
Black
ride.
boys on the road. Let's go.
Yes, brother.
Now we're just coming, supposedly just coming out of the COVID, the lockdown. Our communities are loosening up a little bit. Summertime is coming up. It's kind of like a restart for parents. They really have gotten time, spend time with their children, getting to know their children getting to know their parents. What, and this is a question to both of you, what can you say to parents to give them some kind of guidance in, okay, where they should send their children, how they should deal with their children at this time with the summertime coming up, and keep them active and busy in their communities?
That's a little difficult. No, I mean, because it really has to be a community effort. Yeah. Because when it gets warm for Black people, we die more. So it's not like, it's not like white people communities, they get together, it's getting warm, they getting ready to start traveling. It's not like that for us. We still are breeding diseases. We're still dying by the hands of each other, by the hands of the police. We still have the food deserts. So our condition doesn't change because of a season. So we have to come together as a community and make that shift if we want to see our babies survive on these streets. So as parents, I would definitely say as a parent, that parents need to get together and be real on the block. I was just talking to my neighbor the other day, and he was saying he's getting ready to start walking the blocks again and getting the people to start being more present to stop the young men from carjacking. And it's so much that's happening that, unfortunately, in the mind, family is not first. So we have to reincorporate that thought that family should be first. Family is a priority, because a lot of young girls I deal with, their mothers, they put them out in the street when their boyfriends come over. Or some of them are victimized of sex trafficking. And I'm talking about as young as third graders. So, it's a lot that we have to deal with, a lot of barriers we have to break down before we can actually get excited about a season change.
Yes, ma'am.
I would say this, just from going back to what my grandmother used to say. She used to say, an idle mind is a devil's workshop. And I say that to say that when we're in school, we're busy because you got to go to school, first period, second period. You got something to do. In the summer, you're just free. And so what we have to do, as my sister articulated, we got to be constructive. And we have to have our students, our children, busy in something. So I'm going to step out of pocket right here. And I'm going to say, to be honest with you, there is an accountability. And so one of the things that I like to see parents do, instead of letting your children have a free summer, give them something constructive to do, whether that's learning entrepreneurship. They could be selling cookies.
Right.
Find something productive to do during that summer. We may not have the money, as my sister articulated, to travel to Paris or to other places where we can do recreation, but we can do something else besides recreation. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So what I'm suggesting is that our parents have a plan, because you need a plan. Have a plan for your children this summer. There are free summer programs that they can get into, and there are free jobs, free summer jobs that you can sign up through the city. So there's something for us to do besides hang out until the man calls us back in August.
Yeah. We have to create programs for the parents too, because single moms that I sit down and I have conversations with, they don't know how to plan. They don't know. They're in survival mode.
Right.
So their thought is not even what my child is going to do this summer. Their thought is am I going to have a job? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my child? How am I going to feed myself? So that's why I said that shift has to take place, because we're not dealing with an easy fix. It's really not an easy fix. We're in a real condition out here, and thank a lot. I didn't cut.
Now, sister, you about to do some jump.
What the minister say?
I had to pause for a minute.
Hey.
But yeah, like the minister said, that cussing got to come out.
You have to let it out, bro. It'll make you sick within. I'm telling you. Yes, ma'am. I understand. Go ahead, brother. You saying something, brother Cedric?
Yeah, I was gonna say too. Now, this just your brother pushing black, if you can call it like that. I've heard, now this is just me, I don't want no trouble with nobody. I've heard people talk about, the problem in our community is we dealing with poverty. Well, my mama was poor. This lady, she is a beautiful woman. Back in 1970 something, she had 4 children and we lived in a 1-bedroom house. And that woman went to work with just a high school diploma. She made $3.25 an hour. But she managed to put me in private school with them $3.25.
Yeah.
She managed to get all of her children through and on to college with them $3.25. Now we shared clothes, and then sometimes, you know, things got a little tight. But with them $3.25, she was able to help raise a family. So poverty ain't really no issue, because wrong is wrong, whether you poor or not. You just, you know, so we have to deal with a moral foundation. And I'm going to be honest with you. One of the reasons why I was able to latch on to the truth of God is because my mama made sure that we understood and knew who God was. And I'm saying that in solving our problems today, it ain't going to be money. It ain't going to be programs. It's going to be latching on to a belief system and calling out for a God who saved everybody on this line today. So I just wanted to say, I know we're dealing with things, and I understand that, and I am not unsympathetic to it. I just want to be honest with you. Even in poverty, God can be found.
That's true. I definitely bear witness to that. And you had a beautiful, wonderful, great mother that I wish more of these babies out here had, because the time is different.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not coming out of Black power.
That's right.
Black consciousness. We're coming out of Black death.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? We're coming out of real self-hate.
That's real.
You know, where now I don't even want to look at myself in the mirror without thinking about getting a butt done, some butt job done. I'm getting implants everywhere on my body. I'm changing facial features. And
you're right.
We're in a real condition right now.
Right.
You're in a condition where, you know, you got women who are looking at their daughters and hating their daughters because they look like them, or hating their sons because they look like their fathers.
That's true.
So when you have that level of self-hate, I'm not going to work for you because I didn't even want you to be here.
That's real. That's real.
You know, so that's the mindset that you're dealing with. I sit down and I'm talking to women that I have to first get them to be able to look in the mirror, a raw image of themselves, and open their eyes and tell themselves that they love themselves. A lot of women cannot do that.
That's right.
So if I don't love myself, I'm not going to love my daughter. So that's why I said we're breaking generational pain. We're turning our sons into punks because we fear them losing their lives out here on the streets. So we're holding them to the breast too long.
Right.
We're over nurturing. You know, when you over nurture a plant, you kill it.
Yes, right.
And we're over nurturing the son and not nurturing the daughter at all. So it's nothing but death in the home.
Come on.
So that's the condition that we're dealing with. So I could be going to work making $20 an hour. But that check ain't coming home to my children. It's going to the beauty salon. It's going to the nail salon. It's not even going to the grocery store.
Let me jump in here and say, you've heard it first today on Jock Brothers. Don't miss it. And let me also say, get that book. That's why. What is it? Give it to me. That's why I am enough.
Why I am enough. Why I am enough.
Get it.
Y'all have changed the title like 10 times.
Get it. Why I am enough. Get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, man. So that takes us into the power to break generational pain. Then, so this is what you're dealing with in trying to break So is it best? So I guess it's best to start with the mother or the grandmother or
that foundation.
Yeah. How high have you been able to go? You know, have you started with the grandmother? Have you been able to reach a great grandmother? I don't know. How high have you been able to go, Sister Marianne?
I've had a situation with a grandmother. I had to meet the grandmother because this 16-year-old child told me her grandmother was my age. And I was like, ma'am, I am not old enough to be a grandmama of a 16-year-old. So I had to meet her for myself. And I had to ask, how old were you when you had your child? And how old was she when she had this one? Because I'm not in that category. So, but and that was pretty much to break the ice and get them to laughing. But it showed a lot in that dynamic. It's when we say babies raising babies, that's real.
Yeah.
Grandmothers today are not like grandmothers back in the day. My grandmother had 14 children. By the time I was born, I think my grandmother was almost 70. She had to be in her late 60s or something when I was born. And she wound up passing away when my firstborn was 3. So she got a chance to see some great grands. But I mean, at 5 years old, I was in the kitchen baking bread. Right. Now, of course, I was blessed to be born in Islam, and my grandmother was the Savior's secretary. My grandfather was the messenger's youngest brother. So my coming up was a little different. I was the rebel in the house, but it was a little different. And so like I was in the kitchen. I knew how to cook. I knew how to clean. I was raised that way. I knew how to take care of a husband. By the time I was 12, I didn't want no boyfriend. I wanted a husband because I knew how to take care of one. So my mindset was different. Even though, the rebellious side came out, but I had to go that route in order for Allah to put me in front of these babies and I can understand what they're going through because I've been there. So I'm not ashamed of what Allah took me through. I know I had to go through it for a reason. So, so I understand both sides. My mom wound up being a single mother. Her and my father separated when I was 5. So I know what it's like for a woman to be in the home and you grinding. You know what I'm saying? You trying to make it happen. I know what it's like to have a mother look at you and didn't want you because you remind her of her pain. Not that she doesn't love you. Yeah, she loves you, but you're a constant reminder of the pain, and she don't know how to separate pain from love. At a certain point, it becomes one. That's a lot mentally. Women are going through a lot of stress. So are our brothers as well, because we're in roles we don't belong in.
Come on, man.
So now we're leading in the numbers of heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure. And a lot of it is psychologically. We run into medical marijuana. You run into a substance that's going to physiologically mask a pain that you carry. It's not going to heal you from it. It's just going to mask it. So we're looking for improper coverings, but then we come with the covering of God that now this cloth feels natural. It's comfortable. So I'm going to put it on because in result, I'm getting some healing. I'm feeling love that I've been searching for trillions of years since the God left. We've been in search to find him. So now that he's back on the scene, they can honestly see him in each and every one of us. So as my brother said, you walk into school and you see the darkness in their eyes. The blessing is when you see the light restored in them before you walk out the door. That's what it's all about.
That's right.
To our Jock Nation family, to understand the deep science that our sister just said about God leaving and back on the scene, please get Message to the Black Man by the Most Holy Elijah Muhammad. And that will help clarify what our sister just said. There's some deep knowledge in there. And also, sister, I want to also highlight the point you made. I think that our brother was talking about what his mother did in the 70s. Yeah. And if we look at that period, we have to this is so important. It's coming out of Black Power. The nation, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad on the scene in the 70s. The nation falls. Then you could see men with purses. You start seeing men doing this ballet type dancing, this disco type dancing. And so the enemy watching all of this, now he introduced another drug in. Now we got the crack era.
That's right.
The 80s. And then now we got the gang era in the 90s. And then the Million Man March come. And then the enemy he said, okay, so now we got after the Million Man March, we giving out money now. Now you got cash money, and you got Bout It, Universal. It went down in New Orleans, and they put 300 million in cash money, 300 million in No Limit.
That's right.
And so now they was pulling us in. So now these are the different stages that we're taking to. So let's make sure we remember these things so that we don't incorrectly judge our people where we are now. And I think that's a very good, important point that you brought up, Sister Marianne. So definitely, brothers and sisters, Jock Nation, we are going into our commercial time. Brother Kyle, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. Take it away.
First of all, Sister Mariam, Brother Cedric.
Yeah.
Heavy conversation, much needed conversation.
Crazy.
I'm loving it. I'm so quiet over here because I'm just feeding off of you. So if you're in the Jock Nation viewing audience, man, please share on your platforms. Please share. And please have your people subscribe and hit the bell. This is a absolutely powerful show, great for reviewing as well. Also, please support the platform. We can't ask you enough and thank you enough for all the donations that we have seen from you or received from you in the past. And whatever donations you give from the bottom of your heart, it'll be well received and invested so we can continue to bring shows like this to light, individuals like this to light that's doing big things that we don't necessarily hear on an everyday basis. So again, our Cash App information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Is $JAKQBROS. Whatever donation you give, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And again, support our prison ministry initiative. We're trying to put the baddest people on the planet behind bars to our family that absolutely need to be updated on current affairs, events that's going on in their nation. They also need to have access to the words, the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. It absolutely saves lives once you hear it. And so, again, if you have any information of inmates that's behind bars, or brothers that's behind bars that need to get this paper, please reach out to us on Jock Brothers Viewers
and sisters.
Oh, and sisters. We ain't just trying to get the paper to brothers. I don't want Sister Marianne jumping through the screen at me.
Oh my God!
And sisters, I gotta make it clear. So get that information to us, Jock Brothers Viewers at gmail.com. Again, we need their name, inmate number, facility in which they're at, and we will get that final call newspaper to them. I'm talking about in no limited time. We also are we doing the video also, brother man, on the fish fry that's going on Friday with Blackstone?
Oh, we'll show that at the end. It's not a video.
Okay, yes, sir. That's what I got, brother. Back to you, brother Jackie.
Yes, sir. So brother Cedric, I want to talk about you working as a program coordinator at the Center for Urban Community, and you identify community resources, organize local programs, and provided technical support for grant writing and program administration, which is a very good service. I'm wondering how was that received? Did it do well for our people? Should we, if we working in the community, should we do more of that? What did you experience?
Absolutely. So everything has a beautiful story behind it. So I lived in the Callio housing development at that time. And I was working on getting my first undergraduate degree in accounting from Dillard University. And so while living in public housing, I used to go to the project office to pay the rent. And so while paying the rent, one of the young ladies who worked there said, "You seem like a nice young man. What are you planning to do for yourself?" So I had this big idea working in corporate America and all that kind of stuff because I had a degree in accounting. So I'm getting ready to go out into the world. And she said, "You might be interested in getting a job here because there's a lot of work." So here I am, degree in accounting, and this is social services. So it's kind of out of my field. So I did apply, and I ended up getting a job working in public housing at the very place where I live. And so what they had made me was a program coordinator. They said, we need programs in this community. So some of the things that we did is some of the stuff I still do today. We immediately looked at the center. So there's a center in the center of the project, and we organized an after-school tutoring program. It wasn't even hard. So you get some snacks, right? And you bring children together, and you get some adults who can help them with writing and reading, and we bring that project together. And next thing you know, we got a flourishing after-school tutoring program, because young people need a place to go. They need help with their academics, and they can use mentoring. So that was one of the first programs we launched. And from there, we had the adults saying, that's great that you are helping the young people, but I haven't finished school, so I need my GED. And that's how we got into helping people with GED. So once you launch a program somewhere, then the needs of the community become evident. So honestly, it was just starting with that one initiative. It's not even complicated. You can organize a tutoring program almost any place, any day, anywhere. And so again, I'm just saying that, yes, programs like that and coordinating, because I was a coordinator. I just came up with the idea. I put the people together. I just organized it. And so we are being made as organizers of our people. So we all should be project coordinators, so to speak, or coordinate some kind of initiative. And so from there, people began, I guess, to count on me to do other things. And so I remember my most famous or infamous initiative. There was a triple murder in one of the housing developments where I worked in one of the units, and it was a horrific crime. I mean, I'm not going to get to the details, but we were completely surprised because nobody thought that these people deserved it. And they were asking me, what are you going to do? So I organized a big old public rally. And so, I mean, the people just come to you when they feel like you can help. And from there, I had earned a reputation of somebody who could be counted on to deliver services. And that began my career as a coordinator. And I worked in city government and I worked in other professional settings where I managed programs. And so from there, that's how I started my own company doing the same things that we do. So,
okay, tell us about your company.
Well, Models for Success and Models for Success Professional Workforce Services is an organization that does just that. We see a need and we provide a service based upon that need. But I'll be honest with you, we are an organization that actually charge. Now, we don't charge the citizens or the residents for the services, but these are contract services that you can apply for through other organizations. So as of today, we are a respectable organization. We do fully employ people as well as other initiatives. So I said that to say it's a company that we built over the course of 10 plus years. And what you're seeing on the screen there is a brand new initiative, Achieve 365. So now this is a subset of Models for Success. And again, I'm just being clear. If you have an idea and you want to create a program, all you need to do is find the base and get started. And from there, opportunities will be made available to you. And you got to figure out how to structure your organization to be able to take advantage of it. So as of today, we run 2 different companies and they're very successful.
Yes, sir.
Get in motion. That's what you're saying. Get in motion. And
get started. You know, when we were coming up in the ranks, we had a phrase, and there are people who would take on this phrase. We would always be told, "Black man, make it happen."
Right.
And so you know, we would give each other that name. That's Brother Make It Happen Muhammad. And so, and I think Brother Ahmed, we may have gave you that name at one time, Black Dog.
Yes,
yeah.
Sir.
So
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm saying that to say, even amongst our sisters, like my dear sister here, she's making things happen. And so we have to take on that same energy and spirit and follow the good work. And I'm gonna say this as a closing point. When we see, this is for anybody that's listening, or you see this later, when you see Black men and women doing something, you got 2 things you can do. You can join that effort if you believe it has value in it, because it don't hurt you to help. Or you can go to your brother and your sister, and if you got something in your heart you want to do and you don't know how to do it, ask them how they got started. And that will help us as a community really build the momentum, because it's going to take more than 5 of us.
Right.
Maybe 6. Just maybe 6. We only need 6. We just need one more person, man.
That's right.
That's
right.
Now we
hold on, brother Ahmed. Before I forget, Sister Mariam, how can they order your books? Before we
The Why I Am Enough. I'm actually going to put that back up on my. There you go. I'm going to put that back up on my website. You can get it on Kindle through Amazon, but the actual physical book I have to put back on my website. The Power to Break Generational Pain. You actually can order that book on Amazon.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, brother Ahmed.
Yes. So today we have music and arts, and when I was growing up, the young women would go to ballet and they would learn music. But today, even in junior FY class, we're trying to teach these young brothers to be engineers. But at the very least, you want to learn hands-on plumbing, electrical, to be an electrician. We want to teach them things that they can actually earn a living. They don't even have to go get a job, that they can work in their community, build themselves up, build a business in their community. So what do you have in your programs that connect with the community and get to teach these children something of arts and culture?
I would definitely say, we deal with, of course, women and girls. However, I do have sons, and my firstborn is into carpentry, which he just gets it natural from my father. He does everything but HVAC, and he fell in love with it when my brother-in-law took him under his wing and started to teach him plumbing, and then he just rolled from there doing floors. And I mean, the home that we have now, when we first purchased it, my son probably rehabbed 60% of the house, even doing the demo with his bare hands.
Wow.
So, and I'm not even exaggerating, I literally videotaped him tearing down walls with his hands. I just say that comes from my husband's side family. They got that strange strength. But and then we have 3 sons total, and the second one wants to go into engineering as well. I'm all for that. I think every man should go into some area of a trade because it's your nature. It's who you are. And that's what helps them to gravitate towards becoming the God that Allah desires for them to be. When it comes to the female side, well, I mean, you all know what we do. We do our thing. We're going to teach them how to cook. We're going to teach them. We haven't done sewing yet, though. I think we probably will introduce that. No, not in the community right now. And the only reason why is because I've really been so focused on nutrition and helping these women who got to go to work and come home and they want to stop by McDonald's or Wendy's so really trying to get them in the kitchen has really been a hard push. But I mean, how to act at home and abroad. We do all of our training units out in the community. So they definitely do get the culture, and people do ask us questions about dance and some of them about music and things of that nature. And we just guide them in the proper direction and getting that done.
Praise God.
Yes, sir.
So you got a question, Ahmed, first?
Well, no, I wanted our brother to respond.
So there's a physical limitation. So my program, and we didn't say this earlier, the main operation of my program happens in New Orleans, Louisiana. And there is a small branch of what we do here in Atlanta. So what I'm saying to you is this: we connect young people to the resources that we pool together. So if a person wanted to be in entrepreneurship, then we would connect them to an existing entrepreneurship program. If a person wanted a summer job, we would connect them to an institution that does that. If they were looking for arts and craft, then we would connect them to that as well. So basically, in coordinating, yes, and managing services, right? Not recreating the wheel, right? We the plug, right? So of course,
you need a plug, brother. You need a
That's
plug.
right. That's right.
Yeah. So anyway, I say that to say, if there are any students or young people who need specific services, I think we do serve as a connecting point for what's already happening out there.
Right. That's very important, brother. That's very important. Even if you can, if you set one up somewhere in the mosque where when they come, you know, they can grab a brochure or whatever information, you know, a package that you might have. That's very important. You know, the 10,000 Phyllis is for us is doing that here in Atlanta.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother Kawi.
So this is my favorite question. I want to hear the success stories. I want to hear that, you know, that story, Sister Marianne, when they came in such bad shape, they go through your program, and now they superstars. I want to hear the Ashley the Classic story.
And they gave you hell. And they gave you hell, sister.
They never gave me hell.
Remember, she was the bad one now.
I don't get that. Like even the roughest ones, they never give me hell. They come in and you know it's real talk. It's real talk. We have heart-to-heart conversations. I get more tears than anything else. So I felt really, really bad when the minister said on Savior's Day how Allah said, "Don't make my people cry." And I'm like, they're always crying. So I got to figure this out. I have to figure this out. But however, I don't get the I actually don't get backlash. I don't. Not even from the little brothers that walk in the hallway that want to dip in and they like, what y'all talking about, or who is she, or you know, I get them in line too. So you know, I give them the tough mother love, where now coming to the high schools, those same ones are making sure I get to my car safe. So you know, it's really, you know, coming with the light of Allah and casting it out so that they can know that they have a light inside of them. So being a biomedical sciences teacher, I always come to them with the science. So I explain to them, I mean, I have yet to get a person in front of me that's not sexually active. So I'm explaining to them the entire act of conception. And, you know, and even when it's mentioned about the light being in the seed, that's real. You look under a microscope, there's light in the sperm and there's light in the egg. So I'm explaining to them that even in that moment that you were surrounded around darkness, you still was that light. In that darkness.
Wow.
You have faith, because when that egg leaves the ovary, it's not connected. The ovary and fallopian tubes are not connected to each other. So you have to leap to that tunnel. In order to do that, that's your first leap of faith. So these components that we're being taught we must have in order to survive, you were born with it. This is how conception takes place. So it's not about you trying to gain something you don't have. It's about you trying to connect to what you already have. You just have to be told that it's in you. You already have it. So when you talk to the young girls that way, even the young males, and explain to them their value, their worth, how the woman is a gift to this world, how no human being can come on this planet without coming through the womb of a woman. So being able to explain to her how important she is, it makes the young girls sit up. It make them, you know, and I even explain to them, you know, what's the point of a couple of moments of pleasure that leads to a pathway of pain? That young man is not going to be with you for the rest of your life. You know, and then I always tell the brothers, y'all got to come in and talk to the young men, because then in some schools, the young men was getting a little angry because now they ain't getting none from the girls. I mean, and that's a reality.
Right,
you know,
right.
It's a real reality. So when you start raising the female, like the minister said, if the sisters close their legs, you become a brick wall. So if you become that brick wall, you now have to explain to the bull on the other side that's trying to knock the wall down. You now have to tame him.
Right.
So
That's
we
true.
can have the right civilization.
Right.
So we can have a community where the young lady now don't have to worry about going home and getting raped.
Right.
On her way home. Getting raped in the bathroom. I'm talking to the females real talk. Like, look, some of y'all females raping each other in the bathroom. I'm not so concerned about the male anymore. Now I'm concerned about the female taking the male's role. These are real life conversations, but I talk to them like that.
Like that, straight up. That's what they need.
Our babies in Muhammad University that have questions about what they may see on social media that we think as believers, we can't have these type of conversations with our children.
Come on now.
If we don't have it, who's going to have it? Because they're going to try to
it's good. Right. That's right.
So we got to have real life conversations. We didn't fall from the sky. And like I said, I was born in Islam, but I wasn't born with wings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that this world is real. It's pulling on all of our children, regardless of your religious background.
Wow.
So I come to the babies like Mary or Magdalene. I can come to you like Hagar because I want you to see faith and I want you to see where you can be taken from an indecent state to now a pure state, even though you've been touched. So I come from every angle possible.
Oh, that's big.
That, you know, what Allah has given us to give to these babies. And like I said, I have had conversations with young men out of desperation because nobody was there to teach them. So they asked me to talk to them, but I'm still pulling on brothers like, no, y'all talk to them because there's some questions I can't answer.
And I was going to ask you that, but you already answered it. Do you have a counterpart that's working with the boys in the area? So I guess
I do sometimes, and sometimes I don't. It's consistency. You have to be consistent with the youth. Yes. They've had people in front of them who've broken their word. Right. We can't do that to them anymore.
Once you start,
we gotta make our word bond.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Go ahead, brother. If you have some.
Okay. No, I know, Carl. We wanted to hear maybe one of your students that excelled out of your class or out of your
classy, brother.
Well, black man, I'm gonna just keep it real. That's just the way the God made it. I come up on the rough side of the mountain, brother. And so I don't know if we got enough time to, to cover all these things, because God is good, like my sister said. And I'm gonna just keep it. I'm gonna give you a good one. So, gentleman, young brother by the name of Brian, we were running a summer program at Dillon University. And when we run programs, I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of the things I like. We run volume. So we don't have like 10, 20, 30 children. We had like a couple hundred. So our program at Dillon University served 280 students, about 280 that year, but we were, somewhere 250, 280. And there was this young man named Brian, and Brian liked to keep it gangster. And so my program, you can look at me, we professional, we civilized. And,
right,
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't do gangster. I'm retired. But Brian,
retired, man.
Brian come to the program. Brian's supposed to be in class. Brian ain't in class. I said, Brian, you got to pull your pants up, good brother. I don't want to see all that action. Brian got his pants sagging. And I looked at Brian. I said, Brian ain't going to make it. That's what I said to myself.
Right.
But some kind of way, because it's a 6-week summer program, Brian survived. Not only did Brian survive, but Brian, because we were doing financial literacy, we were doing reading and a whole bunch of other stuff. So my summer programs are not like shooting basketball. Like you working, you learning, right? So Brian made it to the end of the program. And he came up to me. This is the God honest truth. Brian came up to me and he said, man, what I'm going to do when the program over? I said to myself, Brian, you going to your house, brother? I don't know what you're going to do. But he asked me for my phone number. And I was like, okay, little brother, well, I'll give you my number so you can get in touch with me. But then this is the God on it. Brother started crying. I was like, man, well, what did we do to Brian? But what he was telling me, he said this. He said, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do without you all, because I've been able to change my life here.
Come on.
And so what we were teaching Brian was responsibility, number one, and that he had a future. I know in education in school, they taught you that you dumb and you're not going to never learn nothing. You ain't going to ever be nothing. But when you come to me, I'm, with God's help, we are going to give you that enthusiasm, huh? We're going to restore that belief, and we're going to give you some hope. You feel me? But that, I mean, I'm going to say this and be done with it. Brian left our program that summer. And he had when he came to us, he was going to inner city New Orleans, Joseph S. Clark. The school is now closed. And he had a 0.75. That's 0.75 GPA. That's pretty bad. That's low. That's really low. 0.75. His first semester, after leaving our program at Models for Success, he had nearly a 4. It wasn't a 4, though. It was 3.75 or 3.5. He had turned his academic life around because we learned in that program was to be able to focus and to have that he could be something more than what the society had determined for him. But because of Brian, that's why we started to expand our services. And that's how I had the idea that what we were doing, it was actually working. And that's it. By Allah's grace and permission, that's the story I got for you today, Black man. Thank you, brothers.
That's my story.
You know, I have to say,
that's
I
my
love
story,
that
and I'm
story,
sticking with it.
I love that story, and I'm gonna tell you why I love that story. I understand that you all helped Brian to focus, and you gave him some knowledge, and you inspired him. You were a part of the process of awakening the God in
That's
him.
right. That's
Once
right.
you come into who you are,
come on,
it's addictive. Of course, he didn't want to go back. That was your fish.
Go ahead.
You want to come with me, young man? Come to the mosque.
Right,
I'm gonna show you where I got this from.
That's right.
It's not mine.
Come on, finish the process.
It doesn't belong to
That's
me.
right.
Come on now.
It belongs to us.
Teach on that.
So that's what Brian was saying. Brian was saying, I'm ready to come home.
Come on.
Because I'm learning who my father is.
Come on.
So please, I love the story about Brian. Yeah, Brian focused on that God within. That's what he was feeling.
Come on,
listen,
man.
brother. I'm gonna tell you this though. Y'all gotta figure out Jock brothers and sisters, because
Sister Marianne, why you gotta teach it? Oh, you know what? We are looking for a K. Sister Kalila. Praise be to Allah. Well, praise be to Allah, brothers and sisters, Jock Nation. We are at the end. We have had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful talk. This has been very enlightful, very inspiring. Definitely, we want to continue these type of conversations. We want Jock Nations to get out there and start some programs.
Right.
Programs.
Yeah.
Right.
Make it happen. You don't need you don't need no experience. Just make it happen. If you know how to make an A, then just have a letter writing class. Just start ABC. Just do something.
That's right.
To help somebody. So with that, Sister Marianne, we do you have any closing words that you would like to leave the audience with? Make sure that you include your books, please.
The first thing I would definitely say to my brothers who are talking about opening up a school, I'm sure that will be a Muhammad University of Islam that you're going to open.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it's the best. It's the way to go. We already have the blueprint, so you'll be opening up an MUI where you are. And of course, yes, my books are available on Amazon. The Power to Break Generational Pain, Why I Am Enough as well. Why I Am Enough is on there as belief through Kindle. You can do it or through Amazon. But the actual book I will put up on my website. And I mean, pretty much the closing remarks would be, just understand and know that you are a God. There
That's
are no
right.
limits. You pull on the universe, and the universe is here to serve us. So
That's right.
we manifest our thoughts into a reality, whether good or bad. So we got to be careful how we're manifesting out here, because we're
Come on,
writing
man.
our own history in advance.
That's right.
Come on now.
Yes.
That's it.
That would be mine. That would
Okay.
keep it short and sweet. Keep it
Hey,
short and sweet. You want to hear something else? Rewind. Rewind.
Yes, ma'am. All right, brother Cedric. Any final words, sir?
Yes, sir. By Allah's grace and permission, I want to thank you, Brother Jackie, Brother Kawi, and Brother Ahmed, and the mighty and powerful Sister Mariam. I want to thank you, each of you, for allowing me to be a part of this experience. And the thing that I would say, this is to anyone who's watching or anyone who will watch this at a later time, please support this program, Jock Brothers. And you can see and witness the energy that was here tonight. It was not fake. It was not planned. We didn't organize this in advance or plan out the questions. This was natural energy from Allah himself. And so I encourage you to be a part of this work. And if there's anything that we can do to support you, brothers, I'm for it. So I'll be cash apping as soon as we,
Yes, sir. Do you have a website, brother?
Oh yeah, we doing all kind of big business now.
We actually have a bill for you, but we'll say that later.
A bill. Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Just make sure you put both our websites.
Send that invoice, black man. But brother has my information, and if you want to get with what we doing, just find me. That's where I'm at with it. You feel me? That's where I'm at with it.
No, we don't have your
this bike.
Yeah,
right.
I'm interested in that.
Right. So where can we go to get more information or to sign up to for the bikeathon?
So the bikeathon, you can find us at our main website, which is www.m as in Mary, F as in Frank Success, mfsuccess.org, mfsuccess.org. You can get there, find out about, and there it is right there, Cheap 365. You can find out about everything we're doing. But listen, the work is the work, and I'm with you, Brother Jack, and just make it happen. And so if you like what we're doing, join us. If you don't, join us.
No, we like what you're doing, brother. No, we like what you're doing. No, we like what you're doing too, Sister Marion. We like it. We love it over here. We love it over here. No, we don't know about those people over there, but we love it over here. We don't know about the ops.
That's right.
Devils.
That's right.
We don't know about them devil, the ops. No. we love it over here. So all right, Jock Nation. All right, let's hear from my dynamic duo, Brother Kawi. Any closing remarks?
Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, family. First of all, Brother Cedric, you smooth, brother. You smooth with the words, brother.
I'm trying to follow in the path of God like you, black man. You feel me? You feel me?
You got to come back, brother.
I don't think that was one of the God attributes, smooth, brother.
Yeah, I didn't read that one either in the Hadith.
Man, well, clearly y'all two are very smart. That's one. Two, you're not lazy. You actually have real heart and compassion for our people.
Yes, sir.
And you do something about it. I just want you to keep doing it.
Yes, sir.
I'm really praying that more people can go through y'all programs, because I think that what I'm hearing tonight, you're actually getting the results that this nation needs.
Yes, sir.
And so all praise due to Allah for putting his message within YouTube, and continued success. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Black God.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Yes, sir. Again, yes, I'd like to thank you both for joining on to this platform. And man, any information that was given, I like to empower parents. I like to empower children. I like to empower our community, because there were many times that even as a child, I was lost.
Yes,
I didn't
sir.
know. In my neighborhood, we didn't have a lot of mentors. We didn't have a lot of. When we decided to go one way, either we went and got a job or we hit the street.
Yes, sir.
So just to give children options, and the parents as well, because even as a parent, when I had my sons with me, it was very difficult. Sometimes I was in that position where I'm working. I don't really have time to sit there and plan what you guys are going to do for the summer, You know, let me help y'all just get a job real quick to keep you occupied and keep you busy. And that was difficult, you know, especially as a single parent.
Yeah.
So just to give, you know, us the ideas that can help us organize and plan our lives. I thank you both for coming on and giving that to us and letting us know that there's light at the end of the tunnel for
That's
everybody.
right.
Yes,
So
sir.
thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, brothers. All right, Jock Nation. Look, this was a powerful interview. Like Brother Ahmed said, I didn't have a plan either. I just bought a PlayStation, bought all the games, fill up the pantry, and just hope everybody was straight in the summer. You know, that's not the plan. So we got to get out, brothers and sisters. We can't be lazy. Whenever we spot a problem, if God show you the problem, then that means the solution is inside of you.
That's right.
And all we have to do is act on it.
That's right.
And praise be to Allah for both of you for acting on the problem that you've seen. May Allah continue to bless you, keep you and your families,
Yes,
and inspire and keep and strengthen you to continue what you both are doing. It's a great work. Our community needs it. And definitely, Jock Nation, we want to support anything that they put out. So definitely, brother, I know you said that it's a for-profit business, brother. We support that. We support that. Yeah, we support
that life.
Yeah, you bought that life, brother. Everybody need a plug. So look,
That's right.
Look, Jock Nation.
But Jack, before you close, we just want to give
Brother,
support to the fish fry that in the car wash.
Yes, sir.
If you're in the College Park community and you are in need of a car wash or a dinner, please, this is an educational program, Blackstone Academy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Those of you who are in College Park, is at 2888 Sullivan Road, College Park, Georgia. Stop by. The students are out there. Car washing is a skill as well. There's car washes and detail shops that are making millions of dollars out here.
I did it for years.
I have a question though, Ahmed. Why the large cars are $10 and the small ones are $15?
That's how car washes and detail organizations present.
So get you a big car. So get you a big car then.
It's more car to cover.
No, they just probably a typo.
Yeah, it's probably a typo.
Yeah, just a typo. I don't know. You'll get it when you get to the car wash. So they'll let you know. They'll let you know the real price. But
Exactly.
that's one of
Just go support.
That's one of the Believer School here in Atlanta, Sister Mary, Blackstone.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay, yes, ma'am.
I got family down in ATL.
I'm pretty sure. Yes, ma'am. You all are everywhere. Yes, ma'am. I'm pretty sure. Well, praise be to Allah. Well, look, Jock Nation, as we always say, whenever we have a beautiful, beautiful show, another one.